narratives after narratives. Government saizi tu ni kuna rate ni manarrative tu. Rigathi Gachagua anawapatia sleepless night. Na bado hajaanza. Bado hajaanza. Bado anazungukia tu hapo kwa mlima. Bado anazungukia kwa mlima. Walikuwa wanasema Rigathi Gachagua is a tribalist. Wakenya mmesikia statement Junet Mohamed alimake juzi. Juzi na jana akiongea. Now Junet Gachagua is complaining that Rigathi Gachagua is taking over his job as an opposition leader. Kuna mahali Gachagua mama akatangaza yeye ni kiongozi wa upinzani. Kuna mahali Gachagua ameamka kaambia wa Kenya sasa kuanzia leo mimi ni kiongozi wa upinzani. Junet Mohamed, if you feel like Rigathi Gachagua is taking over your duty as an opposition leader, inamaanisha you are not an opposition leader. Already you have failed to represent the interests of Kenyans. Already you are in bed, you are naked with William Ruto in bed, na unakuja hapa hivi unataka kuropoka. Hizo ni narratives za government. Rigathi Gachagua is not interested to be an opposition leader. What Rigathi Gachagua is doing is saying the truth. Rigathi Gachagua is enough, is satisfied with his post. He has his own post that Kenyans gave him, known as the truthful man. Sasa tunajua Junet Mohamed huwezi kuwa truthful. So waachia Gachagua akuwe the truthful man. So kama hiyo ndio unaita opposition leader Kenya, ni hatuna shida as long as he remains to be the truthful man. Yani serikali mlichukua 350 million mkapeana pale NTV kuandika a narrative that has flopped, that Rigathi Gachagua killed the former Nyeri governor wa Home Gakuru. Serikali yani hamuna kazi ya kufanyia hii pesa. Wakenya wanateseka kila mahali. Lakini kazi yenu ni kuwaste, kusquander our money. Kila mtu anajua kwa Home Gakuru alikufa Thika Road. Along Kabati after his car rammed on the rail. And whatever caused that accident atujui. So what you can do, bring us the videos that there was Rigathi Gachagua who came and pushed that car ikagonga hiyo ram. The driver is alive, he never died. He can give us his part of statement. Mbona aligongesha gari kwa ram? Was it an accident? Was he knocked? Or did he do it intentionally? So he can give us that statement. That's why that story is flopping, because Kenyans have moved on. Muna create stories narrative after narrative. So after your narrative NTV me fail pap, mukarudisha tena mutuse with another narrative that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua is abducting Kenyans, and he knows where he has placed him. And this comes in immediately. Rigathi Gachagua pinpointed that he knows the house whereby the government is abducting Kenyans and where they are placing him in CBD Nairobi, in a building in Nairobi. And he named the person who is spearheading that abduction, Mr. Abel. So if the government feels that Mr. Gachagua is taking part in the abduction, we want the government to arrest Mr. Abel, whom Gachagua already pinpointed as the leader. And he is a cousin to a senior government, or a nephew to a senior government official. So the senior government official, of course, we know that senior government official. So we want the senior government official to arrest his own nephew, arraign him in court, and tell the nephew to go and witness, to go and say that it is Mr. Gachagua who is sending him to kidnap Kenyans. I heard Junet Mohamed talking about Rivayala massacre and so on. Rivayala massacre was not conducted by the Kikuyu people. It was not conducted by the Kikuyu people. As the Kikuyu people warakata. So stop telling us that when the Kikuyu people are in power, bad things are happening. Bad things always happen. As if it's the Kikuyu people who are in power. When a president is elected, he is not there to represent the Kikuyu people or the Kalenjin people or the Luya people or the Luo people. He is the president of Kenya. So if Junet Mohammed, you feel that Uhuru Kenyatta, during the handshake regime, his government failed and people were killed in River Yala, stop pinpointing a community. Uhuru Kenyatta is an individual. You can deal with Uhuru Kenyatta as an individual. He was the president. You can go to court and prosecute his regime. And his regime, when he prosecute Uhuru Kenyatta, don't forget to add the name of his deputy president, who was William Samoei Ruto. Junet Mohammed. When you talk about the killings, the Shakahola massacre, Junet Mohammed, it is something that was perpetuated by a regime. It is not a community that did the massacre. We did not see a whole community, for example, the Somali communities moving with machetes to Shakahola to kill people. So if it happened during a certain regime, deal with that person who was in power that time. Stop dragging communities into your nonsense and bullshit. So Junet Mohammed, if you feel agitated to bring tribal wars in this country, please, you can pack your things and move out of this country and leave us in peace. Serikali iko kwa power iko community. Right now we are not dealing with William Ruto as a Kalenjin. We are dealing with William Ruto as an individual. He has failed as an individual. And he is not only failing these specific communities, he is failing the whole country. And therefore, Junet Mohammed, the issues to do with the Yala massacre, River Yala massacre, we know the person who was the president, we know the person who was the deputy president. You can deal with them, go to court, let them arrested and get charged and tell us who killed those people. The same way we are telling William Ruto, the things to do with the Shakahola, we know those who perpetuated them. If they are in government, again, prosecute them. There was laxity, of course, in government. About the abductions, we are not saying that Kalenjins are abducting people. We know, we are saying William Ruto is abducting Kenyans, and we want him to stop that. We are not talking about communities here. We are dealing with an individual. So if Junet Mohammed, you feel agitated with what the government of Uhuru Kenyatta did, you know the person who did all the wrongs, the wrongdoings that were done by the government. You know the people who did them. It was not a community. They were not sent there by a community to represent them. They are individuals, and you can take actions and take them to court. Otherwise, for us, we are saying William Ruto must go. He has failed. He is not working for Kenyans. He is working for himself and his cronies. And he must pack. 2025 ni marathon. Marathon tupu. Na vile hand over opposition kwa Rigathi Gachagua. We are proud. We have now a foot soldier. Na sisi tukapo nyuma yake kuhakikisha inchi imenyoroka. Na inchi tanyoroka, William Ruto and his cronies wakipack and go.